For India, the International Court of Justice has ruled that Pakistan must review the death sentence for the Indian national Kulbhushan Jadhav. The Hague-based court ordered an effective review and reconsideration of the conviction and sentence of Kulbhushan Jadhav. The bench also ruled by 15 votes to 1 that Pakistan had violated India's rights to consular visits after Jadhav's arrest and called for Jadhav to be given a fair trial. In a Twitter message, Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed the decision of the ICJ. He said that truth and justice has prevailed. Former External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj also termed the verdict a huge victory for India. She thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi for taking the case to the ICJ and senior advocate Harish Salve for arguing the matter very effectively and successfully.
काउंसलर एक्सेस की बात कही है कि कुलभूषण जाधव को मिलना चाहिए, इसके लिए आवश्यक निर्देश दिए हैं पाकिस्तान को। तो ये विक्ट्री हुई है, बहुत बड़ी जीत है। हाँ, बहुत बड़ी जीत है, इसमें कहीं दो राय नहीं।
And for more on this, we'll go across to Mr. Satinder Kapur, English solicitor. So thank you so much for speaking to Rajya Sabha Television. How do we see this verdict of the International Court of Justice and how big is it a victory for India?
Thank you. Well, I can only start by saying that this is really a momentous occasion. Not only for India, of course, it's a very, very big victory for India. But I think it's a victory for all the rational thinking people the world over. It's a decision, let's not forget, of the World Court. The ICJ is also called the World Court, which has a general jurisdiction over the entire world. It's not a small court. And a 15:1 decision in favor of India, not only on jurisdiction, on admissibility and on the merits of the matter. I think it's a joyous occasion and I would like to congratulate, first of all, Mr. Jadhav's family for this decision, to the government of India, Mr. Harish Salve, and to all the rational thinking people. It's a victory of the rule of law and I think it's a momentous occasion. It cannot be undermined by any standards.
Mr. Kapur, what means are now available for the ICJ to enforce its rulings and how binding is it now for the Pakistan?
I think it's a very good question. Well, I think it's now a known fact to everybody, all the parties concerned, that this judgment is not only binding, fully binding, but it's also non-appealable. There is no appeal anywhere in the world which lies against this decision, this momentous decision of today. Now, as regards an execution of a judgment or a decree which normally happens in a court, I would not venture to say that there are methods apart from pressures, the diplomacy, and getting singled out in the world, and I do not think any country in this world, including Pakistan, would venture not to accept the decision and not implement it. Now let's see what the decision is. Now there's a difference between annulment and suspension.
Right.
So what the court has done today has not annulled the sentence. It has suspended it. So there is a bit of difference between the two, technically speaking, though the impact may be the same. And Pakistan has been directed to reconsider and review the judgment which is under challenge here. So as a result, Pakistan would now need to conduct what we might venture to say on a de novo basis, a fresh trial after Mr. Jadhav has been granted consular access, after Mr. Jadhav has been given an opportunity of being fairly represented by a counsel of his choice. And that's very important in any trial.
Right.
I mean, what had happened thus far, a counsel of access had been denied.
Right.
And there was hardly any representation or no representation of any kind as far as he is concerned. And I would venture to say, I have every reason to believe that the judiciary of Pakistan would now act in a very fair and transparent manner.
Right.
And why is this? Why say this? Because the world's eyes are now on the Pakistani
judiciary. Absolutely.
And I think they have no other alternative but to act in a fair manner, upholding the rule of law.
All right.
With a fair representation of the parties. And I think then we can look forward to a moment in time when Mr. Jhadav hopefully returns back home.
Back home. Thank you so much, Mr. Kapur, for joining us and giving us all those details and helping us understand that very important development in detail. Now we'll go across to our correspondent Akhilesh Suman, who is joining us from the newsroom. Akhilesh, tell us the details of the verdict.